Welcome back guys, and today we are here with another deck, and it's in similar colours to the Azorius deck from last video, but now we're playing Bant, which is basically just green. And it's a very light splash. It's mostly a blue-green deck with a very light splash into white for I think 4 cards in total, so and none of them are the colored, but it is a Bant. I'm not sure whether they call it Bant Tempo, Bant Midrange, Bant Flash. So a lot of different names you can give it. But I think I'm just going to go with Bant Tempo. So as you can see, we run... It's mostly about this early curve. I don't really know where to start with this deck, but it's got a lot of flash creatures such as early drops or Rattle Chains, Dimensional Infiltrator, and Dustwatch Recruiter, which is actually really good with flash creatures because you can flip them pretty much. He's really easy to flip in this deck. You put so many flash creatures, you can just pass the turn and then you'll flip, and then you can play your flash creature for value. And making all your other spells is making all your other spells really cheap is like fantastic. Like being able to play like 3 or 4 creatures in one turn is just it can overwhelm your opponent pretty fast. And then so that's kind of the early game, is to either flash in a creature end step or set up for the big flash finish. Or just say screw synergy and play Smuggler's Copter because it's that good. It's one of these many options. And then we go to our 3 drops, which used to be a lot more flash based. Like I used to have 3 Spell Quellers and I didn't used to run Reflector Mage. But in the end of the day, Reflector Mage is just way too good. But this is kind of mid-range. We still do have plenty of flash creatures. I mean, we have the 2 Valor Dreamers, 3 Bounding Crisis, and 3 Void Grafters, which is plenty of flash creatures. But we also have 2 Tireless Trackers and Reflector Mage, just because they're just fantastic cards and they work really well in this kind of tempo-y mid-rangey shell, just grinding out advantage or like tempoing out your opponent. Keeping 1 Spell Shrivel mostly for sweepers or just to blow out your opponent if there's something you need to counter, like i.e. like a Gisela or an Angel of Invention or something. Something that's a problem with this deck because we don't run any permanent removal except, well, none at all actually. We can tap down creatures, we can bounce creatures, but we cannot permanently remove them in this deck. So the 1 of Spellquill I like just as like an emergency. I mean, obviously it's not going to come up every game, but it's in the deck for that reason. Going to 4 drops, Whirl Rogue. Again, this is why I'm more tempted to call it a mid-range / tempo. Whirl Rogue is just fantastic. With this kind of deck, it's very easy if you can't close it out fast enough for the board to get clogged, and this thing just lets you punch through really easily. Just make a big creature unblockable, and they are the ones who have to break through the board stall. You can just keep attacking through with an unblockable creature every turn, and eventually they'll go down very fast to that. And 2 Altered Egos. Prog's not even the best card. I mean, realistically it shouldn't be in the deck, but I love this card so much. I don't know, I love Shapeshifters, and this one's one of my favourite, just being able to put +1/+1 counters. You can do stupid stuff in this deck, like, for example, my opponent attacked with a Gideon. I had a Altered Ego on the field. I cast Essence Flux, copied the Gideon, I got a free Gideon Planeswalker, that was really nice. But obviously that's kind of the thing. But I mean, apart from that, just copying great into the battlefield effects. And actually, the +1 counters are actually really relevant, just because, like, I had a game. I'm gonna go on a little sidetrack here. I had a game against an opponent who cast an Angel of Invention, and that card just I think I'd already used like all my Reflector Mages, so I was pretty much screwed. I top decked Alter Ego, and just the ability to I made the servos as well as making my Altered Ego bigger than their Angel of Invention just with the +1/+1 counters. And then I was just a huge favourite for that game from then on, just because I had the bigger Angel Invention. We both had the Anthem effect. It was just Angel Invention's and it's just an interesting card, and it's very fun. I recommend it if you just want to have fun, and that's the most important thing. And then the real reason we're running this deck, which is Tamiyo. Believe it or not, I have never ever ran a deck with Tamiyo ever since she came out, and not because I think she's a bad card. In fact, I would have loved to build a deck with Tamiyo in it earlier. It's just I'm sure you've noticed from my recent videos, but I'm really off 3-colored decks. I don't know why. I just don't think there's enough worth going into 3 colors. I just much prefer my 2 colors at the minute. But I mean, I thought, you know what, she's that good. It's worth giving her a shot, and essentially why I went into Bant. Like I said, I used to not even run Reflector Mages, but I did come around to that. I was just a very light splash for Tamiyo, but I mean, just look at this. I had a game against, admittedly it was against the AI, Had a game with tamiyo where I mulliganed to 4. I think my land was 3 lands in tamiyo, and I cast tamiyo and managed to win the game. Very convincing, just with a +1. They only had 1/1s on the field, and they were just giving me an inspiration every turn. It was just really powerful. And then we come on to our kind of mid-range finishers, Verdus Hulk. Not really much to say. It turns out 8/8's worth of stats for 5 mana is a little bit playable. I like slapping it on flyers in this deck as well, or just like, it's fantastic when making like Whirl Rogue, big creature unblockable. But I've slapped it on stuff like, you know, like Rattle Chains or something, had like a 6-power flyer which just closes out the game by itself. 2 Drown of Hopes because tapping down creatures is really, really good. We do have a couple ways to make Scions. And this 7 power, 7 toughness for 6 mana is really good, and the tap ability is really, really good for blowing out your opponents. And finally the one of Woodland Bellower, because Woodland Bellower fetching up Bounding Krasis is still a very good play, it turns out. Apart from that, we run 25 lands. You can see one plains. I should probably slow down. 1 plains, 5 islands, 4 forests, all the dual lands, and then 3 ether hubs. So I found the mana a bit shaky, not because like the colours aren't working out, just more because I can't seem to draw lands at the minute with this kind of deck. But I found the mana was fairly consistent. It probably can use some improvement. If you're good with that kind of stuff, you can definitely sort this out however you want it, but that's where I'm at with the deck, and I've been having fun with it, so I thought, hey, what better to do than go 0-3 on YouTube and show everyone why I'm not a very good Magic player. But I don't know, I've been having fun with Duels. I know that sounds like a kind of obvious statement considering the fact I've got like 200 videos, but I don't know, I kind of go through lulls with Duels where like there'll be like a week where I'm just like, oh, I don't even want to play the game, I don't even load it up like more than once or twice. I'll play a couple games, go off and stuff like that, but I'm in one of the flushes where I'm playing quite a couple games of Duels at the minute, just, I don't know. So like I said, I'm having fun, and when you're having fun, it's good to keep the streak going. And we are versing Alonsky, who is, I did drop a lot of ranks though. The shuffle has not been kind to me, i.e. hands like these. This is acceptable. No blue mana, well we've only got 1 blue mana, which is kind of annoying, but hopefully we can get somewhere with it. And unfortunately this guy's aggro, so I might even skip out on Rattle Chains just to Bounding Krasis, which is not a good proposition, I'll be the first to admit. But like I was saying, the shuffle has not been kind to me. I had a game with Ramp where, I kid you not, I drew every single land and I still had 25 cards in my library. I drew 24 out of 24 lands and still had 25 cards in my library, which was disgusting, to be brutally honest. Had another game with a Cathartic Reunion where I drew, I think, 6 cards in a turn, and all of them were lands. It was, it's been traumatizing. I mean, I'm saying this level and get beaten down very fast to get my opponents on red-white vehicles, I'm guessing, and I just don't think I can keep up. I'm actually going to flash in Rattle Chains here. I know I just said I might wait, but now we do Tireless Tracker, I can offer the... it's really bad, but I can offer the trade turn 3 if I don't do a blue mana. Probably trade off with the Speedway Fanatic. Hopefully he doesn't have a Renegade Fighter or a Cultivator Caravan or something, I don't know. But I mean, if we get the trade off here and he doesn't have a good follow-up, maybe... Okay, so we get the trade off at the very least because of... Well, unless he has a combat trick, but I mean, we're kind of so far behind on board, I don't think I can play around it. Enshrouding this, I'll admit, that's not a combat trick I was expecting. The thing is here is that like our 4-drops are all like blue intensive, so like Whirl Rogue, we can't top deck a Whirl Rogue here, that would be pretty bad. Okay, this guy is really low down to the ground. Down to 14. Do I trade? If I don't trade, I can go Tireless Tracker land. I mean, I still can't even sacrifice a clue, so I think trading is the option, unfortunately. Well, offering the trade anyway. I mean, he's the one who's got the open mana. That attack does not bode well. Actually, no, he'd be happy with these trades. Round 2. Well, this one works, so unfortunately we're down to 11 life, 10 life essentially. And we just need him to pass the turn here. Well, if his last card is Gideon, then we're dead, but we need a good top deck. Spell Queller. We can't cast Spell Queller, so never mind, that's pretty irrelevant. It's pretty simple play here. But I can't see a way out of this now. Woodland Bellower is too many turns off. Blue mana, I guess, gives us a tap down with this. I guess we need like blue mana into... Yeah, blue mana into Woodland Bellower might be able to get us there. But we are at the mercy of our deck. Depala. Okay. So we're down to 8, so we need blue mana. Tap these two. For draw blue mana, we're still in a really good situation. Unfortunately, alas. So this is what I was talking about, the shuffler. We actually tilt more towards blue than any other colour. But and we drew. Did we draw triple white or just double white? No, we only drew double white. I guess I can't complain too much. We're dead on board, are we? 3, 5, 6. Yeah, we're dead. He's got the Air Goblin Arsonist, and there's no way we can punch through that. The important thing is when the shuffler's got you down, you gotta power on. But I don't know. That was I don't even know, where did we go wrong? We went turn 2, turn 3, turn 2, and then 2 tireless trackers. Yeah, I don't know. If he didn't have the combat trick, maybe we could have bought enough time, but yeah, when we didn't draw a blue land on that last turn, that was the death sentence. But I think if we did draw the blue land, we were in a great situation. Because Bounding Krasis trades with Depala, or taps down Depala, and you know, I think we were in a decent situation. But the typical 6-lander, which unfortunately I'm not going to keep, and then the 2-lander. But we've got a Reflector Mage, which means, and we've got all our colours. I mean, we've got Smuggler's Cop, and we've got all our colours. So we've got like 3 turns to draw a land or a 2-drop. So I mean, it's really annoying going when you have to rely on the top of your deck when you've just been screwed out of the game. But hopefully this time the game's feeling a bit kinder and can give us a land. 25 lands. That's a 3-drop. Please, game. There's one lander we just get to go off with Smuggler's Cop, you know, looting cards, and that should hopefully secure us the rest of the game. But it's going to be great if we get to Reflector Mage this thing. We only need to hit a blue or a white mana, which we can't do. Land off the top, easy. Holy shit. I'll admit, I wasn't thinking the game was going to go like this for me. So it looks like we're playing Is It Burn, by the way, which is an interesting matchup. And by that I mean I've never played it before, so I'm not too sure. But we only have 1 blue, so I might just get rid of a Whirl Rogue here. Shoot. Yeah, I mean, Whirl Rogue's okay, but I'm not going to keep a dead card in my hand. Everything else here is live. But I mean, we've got pressure on the board. Our opponent, if he taps out for another Thermal Alchemist, we can crew our Copter and then attack in. And he's passing the turn back, which is pretty ominous. And because we do that Spell Shrivel, I'm just gonna crew my Copter and attack in. If he points a burn spell, I can either Spell Queller or Grip of the Royal. Well, I can't cast that because I don't have blue and white. I could Spell Queller it, but I'm not going to Spell Queller. No, I'm not Spell Queller a Grip of the Royal. It's not worth it. It's only tapped on a creature. I mean, yet it cost me 3 damage, but I think being able to flash in a Krasis end step here is going to be much more valuable. You don't normally see Grip of the Royal in the same deck as Thermal Alchemist. I know he's like blue-red spells, but I don't know. I think if we just had like If we didn't have as many expansions now, I think Griffith would have a place, but I think it's just outclassed. Not going to counter that because I'm just going to tap it down here. If it would let me pause, which it will not apparently. Okay, there we go. You heard the panic in me mashing the spacebar. What could you have? Fire Imp? No, that's not. Lightning Axes is the only thing that can do it there. But you'll tap it down. A sweet thing you can do, by the way, is you can bounding increase this. And with the trigger on the stat, you can crew a copter and then untap your own bounding increases. It's something I've been doing recently, which I think is pretty powerful. Don't hit our fourth land, of course, but so yeah, I mean it's something that I realised. Like you play bounding increases with the trigger on the stack, you crew your copter, and then when the trigger resolves, you untap your own bounding increases. It's pretty cool. It's like pretty much gives you a free. You're allowed to crew your copter and keep your 3/3 on defense. So it's best of both worlds. Opponent's down to 12. We have a counter spell up. If he doesn't do anything, we'll just rattle chains, and then looks like he's not doing anything. And this is the situation we want to be in with our deck. Where are the ones with the counter spells being held up, and all the flash creatures, and he's in trouble basically. And that actually gives us Spell Queller to cast, but I mean obviously we're going to save it. What are we crewing with here? Our chain seems pretty good. We're going to attack in because he needs 2 spells to eat our copter, and then we get to loot still, so it's pretty good. And that's a 5th land, so we're going to keep Verder's Gearhook around. We'll get rid of 1 Spell Queller. I don't like showing it because he now knows it's in our deck, but I want to be able to cast Verder's Gearhook. What's he going to do here? Galvanic Bombardment. I mean, if he's targeting that, then he mustn't have any other burn. So yeah. Could have a counter spell, I guess. But if I ever get a counter spell and a Galvanic Bombardment out of his hand, I'll be fine with that. Okay, so we get 2 Galvanic Bombardments. So it's see, that's a mistake. You should have targeted Rattle Chains, and with the second one you should have targeted this. And with that, actually that's not going to work because he spells exiled, so yeah, he messed that. Because Spell Shrivel exiled his Galvanic Bombardment, so this only did for 2. So yeah, I can see fall from that. I can see falling for that trap. I don't think my opponent did too badly there. But obviously, either way, he should have first Galvanic Bombardment probably should have went at Rattle Chains, and then when it resolved, the second one could have went at the Smuggler's Copter, or the second one would have went at Bounding Crisis. And then he would have had a 3-power creature going at Smuggler's Copter, so that would be really good for him. But he's just dead here, I think, with the Verder's Gearhook. He's got red mana, I guess. But he's already used 2 Galvanic Bombardments, so I think we're safe. Can just tap his creature down for exactly lethal, so yeah. Good top deck, but I think we had it in several different ways. But you down. I mean, like I said, you could have another removal spell, but I don't know. I'm assuming he doesn't. I'm optimistic. And yeah, we got there despite stumbling a bit on mana again. But it wasn't that bad. It was good. The Aether Hubs got us just through it. Back at the 32. First one in the day. I've got a quest on the minute for making tokens, and I thought with like 3 Whirler Rogues and like Vile Redeemers and stuff in the deck, I thought it'd be easy, but it's looking a bit more difficult than I anticipated. Game 3, hopefully we can have a powerful dub. I mean, you saw the power of the tempo nature of the deck there. Like the whole when I was just spell shriveling and just tapping everything down and reflector maging and everything. It was just like he never cast that Thermal Alchemist again. That was stuck in his hand the entire game because I bounced it on turn 3. Now we are playing Fuzzy. He is 1 rank higher than me, which means he is infinitely better than me. He is also running a 60 card deck. This hand is a keep. It's slow, but yeah, it's a keep. I mean, I've already kept it, so I guess there's no point debating. But we got turn 2 Dimensional Infiltrator and into turn 3 Spell Queller, so hopefully we can get some magic going there. Ooh. Are we having round 2 versus Beatdown? Looks like we are. Well, I can't block it anyway, so I guess I'll be doing this end step. I don't know, I don't think this deck is, without Reflector Mages, I don't think this deck is gonna go toe to toe with the aggro stuff decks. But I think with Reflector Mages you have a good chance, because you just get so far ahead. But I think you rely on them very much. That's kind of why I put them in the deck. It looks like we're playing Vampires. At least his second land was tapped. So that means, unless he has another incorrigible, whatever this card is, then we would have been okay. And I mean, if you dodge their turn 2 play, it's okay. So we have green, blue. We get to hold up Spell Queller for whatever he plays next turn, and then or Spell Shrivel if you really need to. But I mean, I'm going to throw out the Spell Queller. Spoiler alert. Then we get to go Altered Ego, or most likely I'm just going to be holding up another Spell Shrivel. I like to save my Altered Ego until I've got really nothing else going on. Forerunner of Slaughter, that's an interesting one. A lot of people seem to be doing this, merging the red-black vampires with vehicles and Eldrazi. I don't know. I thought in my tournament deck, I thought my vehicles and vampires was still a bit too much. But I don't know. Maybe this. I mean, a 3/2 for 2 is already pretty good, and giving colourless creatures haste, just like giving a Smuggler's Copter haste, it's pretty good, isn't it? He can still attack. He does realise that. A lot of people forget that this thing has menace. I know I'm one of them. If he has you could have a Lightning Axe or a Fiery Temper here to kill our creature. But he doesn't, and if he untaps, then we get Spell Shrivel up, so we're going to be good. So I'll hold up Spell Shrivel whatever he plays next turn. I mean, we're winning this race, and we're going to counter whatever he comes down, and then we'll follow up with an Altered Ego with some counters on it. Probably copying Spell Queller. I mean, it's our biggest creature. I mean, a 2/3 flyer for 3 isn't the most exciting thing to copy, but it's still not bad. See what he hits us with here. Because, I mean, he's down to 14, we're going to Spell Shrivel. And then he's down to 10, and then Altered Ego, and then he's really up against it. I think we win this race unless he goes nuts. So, I said I couldn't win without Reflector Mage, and apparently the deck decided to show me wrong. I guess this guy didn't get off to the most insane start. I mean, because he played, wow, he didn't do anything. That's fine with me when I'm winning on board and I'm playing a counter deck. There's absolutely no need to throw that Murderous Gearhulk out. I'm winning this race. I can wait as long. I can wait as long as I want. At this point, like I'll go counter spell into Murderous Gearhulk for lethal. So 2, 4, 8. We don't quite have lethal, but if one more creature nah, actually never mind. I'm talking about us. Yep, that thing's getting countered. Just because he can crew it, and it's good on defense against my 2/3 and 2/1. Not the most I mean, he did bait me out there, fair enough, but unfortunately for my opponent, I get to go Murderous Gearhulk, hit him for 6, and then he is Altered Ego the next turn, so he's really up against it. That's what I mean, like, look, he's running vehicles, Eldrazi, vampires, it's just, I think it's too much. Could even Reflector Mage, but I mean, I'm just going to go for the kill on 17 life. I'm not feeling too much pressure. So just put all our counters on this thing. I guess I could have just put, maybe I should have just put one less counter on it just because it's still a 2-turn clock, but either way, I mean, he needs to kill both creatures and then Altered Ego. Or Reflect him. I mean, there's so many choices here. I think he needs like land into double and license disintegration, which admittedly could be a choice, or like 2 removal spells anyway. But even then, we're not completely out of it. Reflector Mage helps us stabilize again because he'd be tapped out. Guiltleaf Winnower actually would probably be a good play for him. I'm just trying to think of the cards that blow me out the most. Guiltleaf Winnower. Act of Treason, does that do a lot for him? Act of Treason would be good for a lot, but not quite enough. Double Act of Treason would kill us. So I think that's how he wins this game. He goes land, Act of Treason, hit us for like 10, 13, 40. Oh, he doesn't even kill us that way. Wow. And we'd kill him on the crackback, so wow. How could he kill us? Let's try and think this through. I mean, you can definitely survive the turn. I'm trying to think how he could kill us from 17 here. Reality Smasher, no. Ooh, what about that Eldrazi that steals a creature and has haste? Eldrazi Obligator. That'd be good for 4, 7, 10, 11. No, it's still not enough. But then Titan Strength. Oh, nah. Still 3 points short. I give up. I concede defeat. I don't think he can hit us from 17 here. And apparently he is thinking this through as well, which I don't blame him for. Olivia is good, but we can just throw all the counters on this thing of an 8/8 trample with another 4/4. Well, bigger than a 4/4. He can't attack. Okay, he's got 2 mana up and he does have something in hand, but I think we just throw all the counters on this thing and then go from there. Willrogue unblockability could just be better though. Nah, let's be flashy. This is, I mean, it's kind of a similar thing. If he has a removal spell, he kills us, but I think actually, yeah, he's gone. I think this was actually better than Willrogue just because 1 removal spell blows out here. Well, yeah, so we get there. So double Verdurous Gearhulk turns out to be pretty good. Who would have guessed? Inventor's Apprentice. See, what is this? I mean, I'm sorry, my opponent, but this is just spread way too thin here. Yeah, so. And ours is a 6/6 because of the Altered Ego. Yeah, he's taking well over lethal here. Is he though? Yeah, he's taking exactly lethal, so that was kind of fortunate. I did go for that line of play. Well, actually, I guess either line didn't matter. So another gold. I'll play one more just because these games have been fairly fast, and the first one was kind of a non-game, so we will persevere and play one more for the fans. I like this deck. I mean, unfortunately we haven't seen Tamiyo, so she's never going to make an appearance for me on camera, but she is a good card. As it turns out, a 4-mana pushed Planeswalker and Bant is actually surprisingly good. But you never see her. I mean, I've seen her like, I don't know, I can count like on one hand the number of times I've seen her against me. And it's so rare to have exactly, because you need to be playing exactly Bant tempo for her to be really good. So we have white-blue, so we have nothing castable in this hand. We have a much better hand here. Unfortunately, the third line comes into play tapped, but okay, our opponent's mulligan to 5, 4, okay, yeah, so this is going to be another non-game at 3-2-1, yeah, so this is going to be another non-game like the one. I don't know, I should have just left. He had a land turn 1, lucky bastard. Let's just, I mean, we're going to close this game out as fast as possible. I'll play one more after this as well. I'm sorry, I should have just left, but I'm not missing out on my... In fact, I'll just pause until... Yeah, I'll just pause until I get into another game. So it turns out our opponent was playing some sort of Rise for the Tides deck, and it looked like he didn't enjoy his first couple of hands, but the feeling when you get mana screwed the same as an opponent's mulligan to 1, we both got stuck in 3 lands. But we'll put that one behind us and just jump into another game now. 34. So I mean, just climbing up the ladder here. That was a weird game. I had an Altered Ego copying a flipped Dustwatch Recruiter. For those of you who don't know how that works, is that if you copy a flipped creature, it will only ever be on the side that you copy. Like, I copied the Crowling Howler, and it can never flip back to Dustwatch Recruiter. So you pretty much get a permanent 3/3, which makes your creatures cheaper, which can get pretty insane. Especially, like, I mean, now I could have cast a Vile Redeemer for 1 mana that game. I could have cast, like, you know, stuff like... I think my game there I went turn 2 Dustwatch Recruiter into turn 3... turn 3 another Dustwatch Recruiter plus Rattle Chains, just because, you know, they didn't play anything. Like, Dustwatch Recruiter really punches your opponent if they're slow. This hand doesn't have anything till turn 3, but Reflector Mage is a decent stabilizer. And we got good mana, so I thought it's worth a shot. You never know, maybe we can draw one of our many 2-drops, which would make this a very solid hand. Although it is pretty solid, as long as our opponent wasn't like 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. I think we were okay with this hand. Double red and not a play is kind of confusing me, just because double red and no... I can't speak. I should have played the Hinterland Harbour, by the way. I messed that up. But double red and no play kind of confuses me until he shows me a second colour, just because, you know, you assume mono red's going to be fast, like this guy. I mean, we've got to try and ambush it with Void Grafter. I mean, he's greedy. It's a question of do we want to bounce it with Reflector Mage or try and eat it with Void Grafter. This thing flips though, doesn't it? So it looks like it's going to be a Reflector Mage job, because we can't eat it. Yeah, definitely a Reflector Mage job. Especially as we do tamiyo, we just want this game to go along now. But I forgot that, you know, well, it's the flip is a double side against werewolves. They can flip easily against you as well, it turns out, unless you start playing stuff sorcery speed. But I'm worried what's in my opponent's hand, because it didn't have a play till turn 3, which means they have a very high top end exhibit there. But we get to go Whirler Rogue, which I think should help us stabilize, and then, well, at least make things unfavorable for our opponent, and then we can kind of go from there. Verdurous Gearhulk's a very good draw as well. That should, if our opponent is mono red, that should give us some time. Like I might even just go Tamiyo next turn. Yeah, we're not attacking. Tamiyo next turn, just -2 to tap on 2 creatures, and that should just buy us so much time. He's clearly playing a mono red haste deck. I mean, that's fairly obvious. So that means I've got to leave blockers back and watch my life total and stuff like that. But Tamiyo buys us, if he plays the second creature out here, Tamiyo pretty much buys us an extra turn, and then we can plus and then just go nuts from there. Like go Whirler Rogue into like Verdurous Gearhulk, and then opponent's gonna have a tough time punching through all that. Eldrazi Obligator, oh god. I don't want to go eggs and all in one basket on Verdurous Gearhulk now, but that's actually, well, you know, we can trade off. That's not as bad as it could have been. Eldrazi Obligator does trade with a 1/1. And then we can double trade Whirler Rogue for the, yeah. So, this isn't like ideal, but I think these are the blocks you want to make. So we basically trade a Whirler Rogue for a Brazen Scourge and a Eldrazi Obligator plus like 2 damage or whatever that was, and now we attack because we're going to be playing a second Whirler Rogue here, because there's no point playing Tamiyo onto an empty board right now. So got a second Whirler Rogue out, and then we can decide what we want to do after that. If we, I'm not sure, I think we've got all our colours. We could go Void Grafter plus Rattle Chains, which I think I prefer to Verdurous Gearhulk. Our opponents must be running a lot of action. Like I said, judging by the fact that they didn't do anything for like a couple turns, I think this is problematic. So I think I'm just gonna we have 5 mana, we have blue, green, yeah, so I think I'm just going to attack all out here. Yeah. And then I can go Void Grafter plus Rattle Chains. And then I can eat basically 2 of his creatures. Because the way I could do this is I can go Rattle Chains and wait till it gets Hexproof, and then I can cast. And then Void Grafter in response, I mean, basically, ensures my Rattle Chains is 100% going to get Hexproof no matter what happens. Unless he has like 2 removal spells, in which case I'm actually okay. And then this way we get to pretty much threaten lethal with the Verdurous Gearhulk. So, okay, he's tapped out, so we just need to do some maths here when he attacks in. Wow, he's only coming in like that. That makes sense. Guess I'll give him a Reflector Mage Hexproof, doesn't really matter. And then I think I'm just gonna take 4, eat his creature here. And then I can Tamiyo, tap down 2 creatures. Murderous Gearhulk. Altered Ego, what does that do? You can copy Whirlrook. Damn it, I've got so many choices, I'm not sure which one's the right to do. I quite like Tamiyo tap down and maybe leave a one blocker back or something. Or maybe just attack in the air or something, I think I quite like that. And then getting down to 4, and then we can chump with like one of our, I don't know, Void Grafter or something. Or Reflector Mage, I guess. And then we have plenty of creatures back. He needs second Eldrazi Obligator or like a Act of Treason effect to steal a flyer. That would be the thing I'm scared of most. He's down to 8 life, so pretty much if he taps out here or like empties his hand, we can Murderous Gearhulk for the win. Because we can double tap down his creatures next turn if he doesn't pressure Tamiyo. If he sacrifices an artifact, he's using a bunch of his mana, so I don't know. I asked to draw Tamiyo and she is, and I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with her. I mean, I'm going to chump you in case he has Firecraft, so Reflector Mage, you are gone. I know he's attacking anyway just because he's not going to have to pay the energy, but I can't risk him at fire. I'm so far ahead, I can't risk him having Firecraft. Like, I mean, I know he's gonna, I know 100% know he's got me there, but there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, even still, he could have just burnt me out twice with P and Kieran Nola, so yeah, I guess I'm just overthinking things. He's actually going to shoot down some creatures here. If I was going to shoot down my Rattle Chains, I'm guessing, or maybe Tamiyo. If he shoots down Tamiyo, I think he just loses, unless he has another removal spell in hand. Which doesn't even like win him the game on the spot if he does have another removal spell. So I think next turn I'm going to go for Murderous Gearhulk. Yeah, I mean if he's doing it now, he's 100% shooting down Tamiyo, yeah. Okay, he's got something else in his hand, but he's dead on board in the air. So we spread out our counters anywhere. Okay, he's shooting us down again, so he's dead. Unless, yeah, he's just dead here. I think anyway. Yeah, he's shooting at Willrow, he's dead. Actually, he's got 1 colorless mana, which represents anything. Crumbling Vestiges is going to be... Okay, so he's got nothing, I think. So we just Murderous Gearhulk here and win. Could Whirlrogue? I mean, I could Wooden Bellower get a 2, 4, 5, 6. So no, we have to Murderous Gearhulk. Do it like that. And attack him in the air, see what he's got. Exactly lethal again, and he apparently has nothing. So that was a stressful game. We kept a risky hand, but I think it worked out. Actually no, I think we kept a good hand in this game. I'm losing track. That's a good time to end the video. But beating Mono Red Haste, he did get off to a, like he didn't have a 2-drop that game, but in fact he didn't play anything less than 2 mana that game, which is interesting, especially in what's meant to be an aggressive deck. But maybe he just got unlucky with his draws. But that's Bant Tempo. It is a fun deck. I recommend it. Tamiyo, as you saw there, she did work. She bought me like 2 turns or whatever that was, and she 8 damagers. I mean, that was against an aggressive deck, so obviously she's not going to go nuts. But that's all you can really ask for a 4-mana Planeswalker. And yeah, so that is Bant Tempo. And on that bombshell, I will say thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.